In this video, we are going to cross a volcano. And I'm not talking Zwift here, this is the Scottish Highlands. It's not my first volcano. If you dig back on the channel, you'll find videos about descending 2 active volcanoes in Ecuador. Granted, they were a bit bigger. In fact, when you look at the map of today's route on Komoot, you can hardly see a volcano at all, until that is you switch to satellite. Then the circular shape comes into view, and that's what I'm hoping to explore today. So, volcanoes. 60 million years ago, the 2 land masses that make up Europe and North America were moving apart, literally splitting the Earth open. And that created this ring of fire from which the volcanoes arose. And it extended, well, it still extends right the way up to Iceland, which explains all the geothermal activity there. But on a better day, we'd be able to see out there to the sky cooling, just some glimpses of rum through the mist and egg. All of these are the result of that volcanic activity. And if you went on to Mull, you'd also see that volcanic activity. But today we're going to go and look, or try to find and cross, probably the most obvious volcanic remains. It's pretty much a geologist's playground, and that is the end of Ardnamurchan. We're starting in Faskadale, and I'm a little bit hesitant about this start because we've swum from here and we've kayaked from here. Actually, it's a really good kayak from here out to Muck. And I know that the first part of this track's okay, but after that, pretty much when we try to find a cove to swim from, it seemed to disintegrate into nothing. So let's see how this goes. I thought I just saw a stepping stone in this river. It's not a stepping stone, it's a dead deer. I'm fully expecting there to be quite a bit of hiker bike in this. If you don't like hiker bike, this is probably not the route for you. Turns out that was something of an understatement, but I didn't know it yet. There's a bit of a challenge doing this in July when the ferns are high, because they pretty much obscure the track. Although that said, when I was here before, I couldn't actually see any track, and it wasn't July, so I'm looking for excuses. Rideable sections were short, and between them there was a lot of pushing. But what a spot! You know, I think the plan here is to forest this glen, because looking on the other side you see all these like little full stops, like brown bits, and what they are, they're a bucket. A digger's gone in and turned out a bit of turf, and all the way along here they've been planting trees too, so that might be going to be for forestry. Going to need to do a really good tick check after this. They love hanging out in ferns. If you do find yourself having to push through ferns like this, try to walk on the same side as your derailleur. Otherwise there's a risk of pushing it into the base of the ferns and doing a wee bit of damage. I have to be straight with you, that was a real challenge. I've been pushing pretty much all the way since Faskadale. There are a few shots of me riding, but really they were the only times I was actually had my backside on the saddle. The rest of the time it's been pushing, and that's well over an hour. I want to press on and into this volcano. I've climbed to a small rise in the center of the flat bit, and all around me is the rim of this volcano. Stood here with the ring of fire all around. It's really quite humbling because you can see exactly how this landscape was shaped. You can see the forces of nature that were at work 60 million years ago. And you just know that none of our puny efforts are going to last that long. As if to emphasize that point, there was a village in the center of these volcanic rings. After being what feels like out in the wilds for a while, one of the things you don't really expect to come across if you didn't know it was here is the abandoned crofting township of Glendrian. And in particular, this house, the last to go in the 1940s. And there are still people around who remember the families who lived here. And although it had been a crofting township, the settlement is much older, so it's listed as a scheduled monument by Historic Scotland of national importance because of its potential to contribute to our understanding of post-medieval settlement and economy. The buildings are varied in date and style and contain evidence for the complex history of settlement on the site. Imagine living in the remains of a volcano. That'd be quite an address, wouldn't it? More climbing now as I've got to get out the other side of the rim of this volcano, but at least I'm on a track. That's me back on the road now. If I turned right back then, I'd have gone to the lovely Sano Bay. As it is, I've got quite a lot of climbing ahead of me. Good chance to say thank you to members of this channel. Really appreciate the support. If you'd like to know more, click the join button below any video, except if you're looking at it on an iPhone, for some reason it doesn't work. And I'll pop up and tell you all about channel membership. It's just really a way to say thank you and you enjoy the work I'm doing. Looking back on that route, I'm glad I've done it, but only to know I would never do it again. It is really not a bike ride, it's a walk with a bike. And then from Glendrian, that was quite good. So if I wanted to go into that caldera and I wanted to see that deserted township, I would do an out and back. That's definitely the way to do this ride. And then it actually is a ride rather than a walk with a bike. The volcano's not done with us yet. The main road climbs up and over the shoulder of one of its outliers, the hill Ben Hiant. That's me almost at the top of the climb, so I'm going to say goodbye now. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you again next time. And hopefully I'll have a ride that time and not a bike carry. Bye.